Good afternoon from AlphaCars. My name is Tom, coming to you from our Northampton location, and today I'm very excited to share with you a recent arrival here at the dealership. This is a 2017 Ford F-150 Raptor. This Raptor is currently showing just a hair over 60,000 original miles, and if you would like to see a high-resolution detailed photo set, please reference the listing at alphacars.com. There, of course, you will also find a free included Carfax report, alongside a long list of technical data related to the vehicle's remaining tire and brake life, as well as individual readings from each panel using our paint depth gauge. But today I'll take you on a quick condition overview around both the interior as well as the exterior of the Raptor, and we'll take a look at some of the most unique and interesting features, of which there are many on this very purpose-built vehicle. So as you can see here on the exterior, finished in a beautiful metallic silver paint scheme, which offers a great contrast and really highlights all of these extra dark elements here on the outside of the vehicle, of which we'll cover as we make our way around. We'll start here at the front. Before I look at the general paint condition, you can see just how wide these front fenders are. Absolutely monstrous when compared with a traditional F-150. Now in a normal F-150 body, the body remains flush with the edge of that headlight. So as you can see, it's much wider here on the Raptor. I'd say probably about 5 inches on either side, and that's all to fit in these amazing KO2 35-inch tires, but we'll cover that in just a moment. First off, we'll make our way back really close to the panel so as to look for any dings, dents, or scratching. Look for any irregularities in the way the light reflects. This is a big flat panel, so it should be easy to spot if there's anything wrong. And as I make my way back, it all looks fantastic. Now we're passing that very, very appropriate big, bold Raptor script here on the rear fenders, which are also wider than a traditional F-150, as you can see. All of these black accents, like the extended fender flares there and the lower portion at the rear of the bed, all in great shape. You also have these very heavy-duty running boards here on either side of the vehicle with the Raptor branding just there. And they will collect snow or dirt or dust depending on your terrain, because they are, as you can see, you'll have these kind of vent holes that allow any kind of junk to pass down through them, so you're not going to slip as you're making your way into the truck. But as promised, we'll take a look here at the setup for the wheels and tires. You do have these satin black 17-inch wheels, which are in absolutely perfect shape. Not that you would be worried about curbing these, because they are wrapped around them are these huge KO2 tires, 35 inches. Tread is worn perfectly even, and it is amazing to me how smooth these tires go down the road. It really does offer a luxurious ride. You know, when you see tires like this, you usually expect a very kind of bumpy, vibration heavy ride, but not at all the case here on the Raptor. Rides beautifully. Again, making our way past that running board to the rear tires and wheels, where, as you can see, beautiful condition, tires worn perfectly even, great condition, and plenty of tread life remaining. But next up, we'll make our way to the front fascia and take a look at the hood as well. Now, as you can see, very aggressive vents here at the top of the hood. That's directly over the motor, and the motor itself sits very far back in the engine bay. Keeping that weight inboard is only going to improve the handling and the driving characteristics of the Raptor. You can see in that sunlight the way that metallic really highlights those aggressive body lines here on the Raptor. You also have some more of those gray decals like you saw on the bed that fade from a relatively opaque silver into a nice dark black finish at the front. Gives it a very cool look, and those are in perfect condition. Now looking here at the front, you do have the Ford script in blue. You do have your amber lights that are required with a vehicle of this width. As we mentioned, those wide fenders next to the headlights, which offer a very cool and aggressive look. Now the corners of the bumper are a bit more open than you may be used to seeing, and it gives you a really good look at that upgraded Fox suspension. Very, very impressive suspension. The ride is amazing going down the street. It feels like you could hit a speed bump and probably not notice. Of course, one of the main focuses with the Raptor was the suspension and the capability off-road. And if you look up some videos of these things in factory trim, they tackle desert dunes like it's not a chore whatsoever. Very, very impressive technology there in the front suspension. But getting back to the condition, you can see largely very, very nice condition here at the front. You do have a small scuff just there, hard to even notice. Some toe points if you need to pull this thing out of a precarious situation. And if you look below, you do have a very sturdy skid plate underneath all of your cooling and all of your vitals there under the hood. You'll notice under the Ford badging, you do have that camera, as well as some cameras under the mirrors and in the rear. So this vehicle is fitted with the 360 degree view camera, which is a great feature to have as you navigate some obstacles, or even if you're parking, as this is a wide vehicle. Now, making our way to the passenger side, as you can see again, go really close to the panel, looking for dings, dents, scratches, or anything else notable. And as you can see, all the way here to the back, it looks very nice. You can see a couple very small scratches here on the passenger side of the bed, very hard to notice. Now, looking at the tire and wheel condition, again, just the same as you saw on the driver's side, excellent shape. More of that beautiful Fox suspension with the blue to match all the badging on the front and the rear. And no different here at the front. As I mentioned, you would have to do something pretty adventurous to curb these 17-inch wheels hidden under those 35-inch tires. Looking here at the bed, all looks very nice here in the back. No damage on the rails on either side. And the bed does feature the easy step up. So if I drop the tailgate, you can see it is dampened. So all I do is touch that and it lowers itself down gracefully. Now, one push of the button here, as this is a very tall truck, I can pull out this step. And you see that grippy material there, very easy to step up into your bed. And if that's not quite enough, you see this handle reveals itself. I pull it up and it latches into place. And now you have easy access to your tailgate. If you have any problems, step up here, grab the handle, and you make your way into the bed nicely, which gives me a great chance to show you the panoramic sunroof fitted to the vehicle. The front panel does open and it reveals an awesome view of the sky above while you're driving the vehicle. And of course, there is a shade to cover up any unwanted light. Just as easily stepping down. And these can be stowed away very easily, not quite as easy with one hand, but we'll make it happen for the video here. Handle stows away. And again, with one hand, it's a bit tricky, but you get that step put away and easily close that tailgate. Now, before these sirens get too loud, let's take a quick tour inside. You can hear some sirens approaching. As you can see, beautiful condition here on the interior. Looking at the seats, you do have a nice combination of that gray and black leather. The seating is in fantastic condition on both of your front seats. Now, I'm sure we'd all like that dinging to stop, so let's hop inside. And now we can check out the interior of the Raptor. If you see any gauges flashing like you just did, that's only due to the camera. No problems with the technology here in the Raptor whatsoever. As I just mentioned, looking above my head, that beautiful panoramic sunroof, allowing in a lot of natural light. Dashboard is all this stitched leather material, very good condition, all the way across the dash. You can see the Sony branded upgraded stereo when compared to the regular F-150. Door cards also have some of that very nice and plush stitched leather on both sides. You also have some gray accents and your door pulls kind of stowed away, hidden nicely. Window controls just there. All four windows are automatic. Looking at the steering wheel, all of the buttons and controls are in great condition, and you have these very aggressive shift paddles here behind to operate the 10-speed gearbox. You can see just how large they are. It's very hard to miss them as you're getting bounced around going off-road in your Raptor. Of course, this vehicle is push-button start. I'll touch once here on the dashboard. Ford built tough, and the Raptor logo appearing in the center. Now, if I put it in reverse, you will see the 360-degree top-down view camera, as well as my reverse camera. There is also multiple forward views available using this button just here, and they all work perfect. You can see here you also have navigation as it loads up the map just there. All of your controls here throughout the center work perfectly. You have an easy select all-wheel or four-wheel drive system, pardon me. You do have the trailer backup mode there where you attach stickers to your trailer, and instead of having to fight with remembering which way to turn the wheel and which way to operate your trailer, You just twist this knob which way you want the trailer to go, and the vehicle will take care of the rest using the sensors in the taillights. Climate controls here look great. You do have heated and ventilated seats in the front. One thing that really surprised me about the Raptor when I just got to drive this vehicle the other day was the amount of luxury as you go down the road. It is a very plush and smooth ride. You have a great stereo, heated and cooled seats. You have this gorgeous sunroof. It was very impressive because a side effect of that, very purpose-built off-road suspension is just a supple and very, relaxing ride going down the road, especially when compared to a more traditional spec of an F-150. Do have some more gray trim here throughout the center console. Here's your gear selector with that stitched leather, and if you elect to not use the paddles, you can use that selector just there. You have your tow selecting button there, but you can also change your drive modes via this switch. And as you can see, I make my way through the modes: Baja, Sand, Mud, Weather, Sport, etc. And you also, with the button just next to it, can change your steering feel from normal, sport, or comfort. And this actually does a great job of changing the weight of the steering here, which, driving around regular roads around here, it's nice to have a nice light steering wheel, but if you're driving a bit sporty, or you're going off-roading, maybe you want a heavier feel, and it's nice you can make those adjustments. As I mentioned before, you do have a deployable sunshade just here. As it is a massive vehicle with a massive sunroof, it will take a little while. You'll see it stops when it covers that rear portion, and one more touch will allow it to carry all the way to the front of the vehicle without any hang-ups or issues with the fabric finding its way where it belongs. But there's a lot of things I could go on about here in the interior at the front, but next up, let's take a quick look there under the hood at the very exciting powertrain in the Raptor. All right, so as you can see, we've popped the hood here at the nose of the Raptor, where we can take a look at what was initially a relatively controversial engine choice for the Raptor. As you might recall, the first generation featured that big 6.2 liter V8, very heavy cast block motor. And, people love the sound that a V8 gives you, but really Ford thought, well, we can make this vehicle a lot lighter with this nice high-tech motor that we've just developed for multiple vehicles in our lineup. But also we can give it more power than that big V8 had, and you can save a lot at the gas pumps, which was appealing to everybody. You can see how far back under the hood that motor, really the heavy part of the motor is. Very much an inboard kind of front mid-engine layout, which keeping that weight between the wheelbase or inside the wheelbase is obviously has plenty of benefits in itself. But this 3.5 liter turbocharged V6, twin turbocharged V6, is producing 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. Now that's impressive in itself, as that's plenty more power than you got from that original V8 in the first-gen vehicles. But also, when it's paired with that new transmission developed jointly between Ford and Chevrolet, you have 10 speeds with which that power can be put to the ground. So with that 510 pound-feet of torque, everywhere you are, it doesn't matter if you're on the highway, you need to get around somebody hogging the left lane, it doesn't matter if you're around town, it produces a monstrous amount of power no matter what situation you find yourself in. The transmission changes very quickly and really gets the best out of this turbocharged V6. I was very, very impressed at how well this little powertrain here can power this massive vehicle down the road. I have absolutely no reservations with this engine, and I think Ford made the right choice. But anyway, as you can see, very clean here under the hood. All of the hardware looks great. Black plastic components here shining very nice. You can hear it idling happily, and even the front of the motor there looks very clean. All your braking components and more intricate connections looking very good as well. No signs of corrosion here underneath the hood. As you can see, those vents on the hood are functional at cooling. There are pass-throughs there in the top of the hood. But next up, let's make our way here to the second row of seating, where you'll find equally nice seating to the front with that two-tone black and gray leather. It's all in great condition on both the upper and the lower portions. These seats can be picked right up very easily. Same goes for the single seat on the passenger side. And you have a massive amount of interior storage. You don't really need to use your bed for most items, as you can fit a massive amount of stuff here in the back. Also, you have this protective rubber mat included, which is great, as well as some separate storage here in the back. Now, just as easily as I raised it up, I can pull this handle, drop the seat down, and we can take a look at how much room is here in the back. Now, keep in mind, I'm about 6'4", sitting behind where I would comfortably drive the vehicle, and I probably have a foot of room between myself and the seat ahead. Absolutely no problems with headroom either. As you can see, the gap between the seats is just unbelievable. Also, looking a bit lower, I do have my own power outlets, as well as heated seats for the second row. Again, the Raptor really impressing me with its luxury considerations. And you do have a great view here of the front of the cabin. Now, I know I've gone on for some time, and there's still more I could cover about this vehicle. The one thing I did forget to mention was that the Raptor does feature a true dual exhaust system that outlets here in the back, underneath that gray metallic bumper. 2 satin black exhaust tips around all of your towing hardware, and it does produce a very nice sound as well. But I'm sure if you visit the listing at AlphaCars.com, you'll see pictures of things I may have forgot to mention, and there's so much interesting about this vehicle, it's hard to cover it in just one video here. But if you do visit that listing at AlphaCars.com, you will find all of the relevant contact information, and we would love to answer any of your questions. Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you from AlphaCars.